secured those perimeters, fencing that, if put together, would have spanned miles.
There's tight security to get into the building. There's no question about that. And I assume for a significant area around there, you want to make sure that you don't have problems with vehicles or other things that are too close to the arena.
You're talking about different parts of the city,
right,
that are going to see some big, heavy security borders around them.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's going to be exciting.
A federal grant is expected to cover the $50 million security price tag.
Are you fully confident Congress will help fund the $50 million it will take?
Yeah, I think security is a nonpartisan issue.
So, Matt, I know you've been doing a lot of research on this. What did other convention cities like Cleveland and Philadelphia use their $50 million for?
Yeah, so it's a lot of money, right, Adrian? Everything from equipment, think radios, police ride gear, police horses, cybersecurity technology, to simply paying the thousands upon thousands of police officers who will descend on this city to help during convention week.
And I know Tom Perez told you that security is a nonpartisan issue, and with this federal grant, it's a sure thing the city will receive the money?
They are, let's say, 99% confident, Joyce, that Congress has done this before, so there's no reason to think that they won't do this again. As part of the contract the city did sign earlier this week, though, if for some reason some of that money falls through, it would be up to the host committee to fundraise that remaining amount. The mayor, though, did reiterate to me today that no taxpayer dollars will be spent on this.
And also, Matt, the mayor reached out to Summerfest about holding concerts there. And I know you just learned something new tonight. The committee discussed about the Brewers and availability at Miller Park.
He's taking requests for Summerfest performers, he told me, by the way. Yes, so thinking potentially, possibly the last night of the convention, look to Miller Park. If you remember, the candidate, this is when they will accept the nomination, much like President Barack Obama did before he was president back in 2008 at the Denver Broncos football stadium. This may be one of the reasons. Think about this for a second. Miller Park can hold tens of thousands of more people than Pfizer Forum. The Brewers also would likely be off that week. It is the week of the All-Star game. Nothing definite planned for this. This is just covering the bases, so to speak, to make sure Miller Park would be available if the DNC and the candidate would like something grander like that on the final night.
Start having those discussions now. I'm Matt Smith reporting live from Pfizer Forum.
Well, celebrities are no strangers to political conventions.
Alicia Keys and Katy Perry were among the stars to show up to the Democratic Convention in 2016. Coming up, the kind of star power likely to come to Milwaukee next year.
I really tried hard as a party officer to stay neutral during the process. At the end of the day,
and a DNC insider from Wisconsin. We followed his journey since he was the youngest elected to the DNC at just 17 years old. Next, we ask about his role in the convention coming to Milwaukee.
And our DNC roundtable is waiting in the wings, what the decision means for Milwaukee and the presidential election.
We'll check back there in a second, but first a look at the economic impact both the DNC and RNC had in Philadelphia and Cleveland in 2016. The projected impact here in Milwaukee is $200 million. We'll be right back.
Action.
Ooh, such fancy Hollywood lingo.
Spice up your night with all-new comedy.
What do you want?
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. How about the secrets behind an all-new Goldberg's cookbook? Bon appetit! On a new school.
We're back together again.
Lainey and Erica, Romy and Michelle, their high school reunion.
What could go wrong?
A wild, new modern family. Single parents in the Bachelor Mansion with Chris Harrison.
Hello, my lord.
All new tonight on ABC.
The rule of three states, things that come in threes are inherently more appealing. We couldn't agree more. 3 SUVs, 1 GMC. Step up to GMC with 14% below MSRP on most 2019 Acadia and Terrain models. Plus, get an additional 2% purchase allowance when you finance through GM Financial. We are professional grade. GMC.
Chief Judge Lisa Neubauer, recognized for her fair, impartial, independent voice on our court, endorsed by more than 300 judges, district attorneys, and law enforcement officers, protecting women and children from abusers and keeping the community safe.
I'm a mom with a 30-year legal career serving the people of Wisconsin.
As Chief Judge, I've made sure that victims and families receive justice, and that's what I'll keep doing on the Supreme Court.
WISN 12 News, Milwaukee's news leader. We are on the streets.
It's happening right now.
In the air. In your neighborhoods.
We just arrived on scene here.
All across southeastern Wisconsin. When news breaks, 12 News is there. Shooting. Listening.
Some new information.
Writing. Reporting. Morning, day, and night.
Here's what we've just learned.
WISN 12 News is Milwaukee's news leader, leading the way with important local coverage.
And I can tell you, Milwaukee is ready to pull out all the stops to have the absolute best Democratic convention we have ever seen. I want to thank
Wisconsin native Jason Ray has been a rising star in the Democratic Party since he was 17 years old. Now he's a DNC insider. So tonight, we ask about his role in getting the convention to Milwaukee.
12 News' Kent Wainscott sat down with Ray, and Kent joins us now, a Rice Lake native, a Marquette grad.
Yeah, you bet. You know, Jason Ray has been on the national stage within the party since before he was old enough to vote. But this is his biggest stage yet, a hometown insider helping to preside over a convention almost in his own backyard.
Let me introduce Jason Ray. Jason.
Jason Ray may not have been the most familiar face at the podium on Monday, but Democrats in Wisconsin and across the country are well aware of his work as Secretary of the National Democratic Party.
to be welcoming the 2020 Democratic National Convention here to Milwaukee.
Ray is a Wisconsin native who calls Milwaukee home, and he was there alongside Party Chairman Tom Perez from the beginning, as Perez considered the city's bidding to host the convention.
How much of a role did you play in this process?
You know, I obviously talked to, with the other officers and weighed in and shared my opinions on what I think Milwaukee could do. I love my city, and I really wanted my city to get it, but I wanted to stay neutral. I wanted to make sure that it was a decision that the chair made that I could help weigh in impartially.
Ray is a Democratic Party veteran, and in the DNC, his input matters. 2020 will be his 5th nominating convention. In 2016, he was a superdelegate from Wisconsin. In 2012, he chaired the party's youth council. But for Ray, it all started back in 2004.
My name is Jason Ray, and I was elected to the Democratic National Committee from the state of Wisconsin.
At 17, he was the youngest party delegate in history.
You're not even old enough to vote.
I'm not even old enough to vote.
The first time you and I spoke was in your dorm room. You were a freshman at Marquette and new to the DNC.
When I got elected to the DNC at 17, I never knew what would happen, didn't know where it would take me.
This is where you want to be.
I am living my dream at the moment. This is an opportunity of a lifetime.
Democrats credit Ray with helping to lead the DNC on a variety of LGBTQ issues.
Working for justice, working for equality.
To me, it's always been about how can we bring more people into the party? What can we do to ensure that all people know that they have a place at the table?
And now a new role awaits on the largest stage yet.
You are going to have a very prominent role at this convention.
Yeah, the secretary has a really unique opportunity at the convention. One of the responsibilities of the role historically has been calling the roll call of states. It's going to be so rewarding to be able to do it downtown in an arena where I have season tickets for Marquette, to be in my home state and get the opportunity to call the states and help identify who our nominee is going to be through that process. And I know that the road to the White House is going to come right through Wisconsin.
Ray told me that seeing Donald Trump become the first Republican to win in Wisconsin in Ray's lifetime was difficult for him, but he said it was a good reminder that Wisconsin truly is a purple state.
Well, and speaking of that, so many people are talking about how the Democrats lost Wisconsin in 2016. Right. So what does he think about that? Did that play into the decision to have the convention here?
Yeah, well, it certainly put us in the discussion. A bigger factor, though, may have been the Democrats bouncing back and winning the governor's race here and doing so well in 2018.
So what does he say really put Milwaukee over the top when it comes to Miami and Houston?
Right. Well, Milwaukee had a lot of symbolic things going for it, certainly, but Ray believes that at the end of the day, it came down to whether Milwaukee could meet the requirements the DNC laid out. Was there enough hotel space? Nearly 18,000 hotel rooms in the Milwaukee area are going to be available. Also, what does the arena look like? Is it ready for a convention? Certainly they were able to answer that with the new arena. And can they raise enough money? Milwaukee was able to check off all of those boxes.
Well, it's a good thing you held on to that video of Jason Ray from 2004. We needed it, right? Lady Gaga, Snoop Dogg, Bryan Cranston.
Coming up, a look at the celebrities who may be coming to Milwaukee for the DNC.
And I'm here with our DNC roundtable, ready to discuss the politics now in play that Milwaukee secure the DNC. Keep it right here.
We knew adding to our family through adoption was going to be difficult but rewarding.